What's up, guys? You were that trucker, back with another video. And it is a Wednesday morning, and I just got unloaded maybe about 30-40 minutes ago, I think, over at this place. Delivered a load of shingles that I picked up in where did I pick that up? Actually, I forgot. New Jersey. Picked up a load of shingles in New Jersey, and we are currently in Delaware, and we got dispatched on our next load. It's another load of shingles picking up in Baltimore. And anybody who is familiar with TMC and the Maryland area, when I said Baltimore, you already know exactly where I'm going to pick up next, because I'm picking up another load of shingles. I'm delivering it to North Carolina. The thing though about today, and that I want to talk about right now, is the freight rates, especially the freight rates in the South. They're terrible. They are terrible, really bad. And I'll tell you guys, the load that I picked up from New Jersey to here in Delaware, it was a 116-mile loaded trip. So when I picked up at the previous shipper and came here, I drove for 116 miles, about 2 hours. And that load that I delivered yesterday, or today, pays me more than the load I'm about to go pick up right now. It paid me more than the load that I'm about to go pick up right now in Baltimore and take down to North Carolina. And that's like an 8-hour trip once I get loaded. The freight in the South, or the setting down South, is very bad. Very, very bad right now. And I'm not happy about having to pick this load up. I'm not happy about the pay, because I've had loads coming out of this place I'm about to pick up from right now that have paid me more. But it's just, it's a mixture, like the way the things are going right now in the transportation industry. It's not completely terrible everywhere. I'll say, I'm talking specifically about the rates going down south right now for me, because when I'm moving around in the Midwest, or, you know, in the Northeast, staying in that region, things are fine. But when I go back down south, the rates are not very good for stuff that's heading down that way. But stuff that's coming out of the South, because I brought a load coming from North Carolina. I took it up to New Jersey. That's how I got up there yesterday. And that load paid me really well. Yeah, I'm not liking it. Not complaining about it too much. I talked to my fleet manager, you know, saying like, what's up? And he's telling me, you know, Southern rates right now are bad, but I'm going home this week, and like I said, it's Wednesday, so it'll have me in position. You know, I'll be in my home radius, so I'll deliver this load tomorrow, which is Thursday. I'll pick something up, deliver it somewhere, I don't know, Virginia, Georgia, who knows, I don't know, somewhere around that region. They'll have me in good position, so I'll be able to, you know, get home on Friday. But the thing that I dislike even more, literally last week, I picked up this exact same load that I'm about to go pick up right now from the same place, and delivered it to the same place I'm about to deliver tomorrow. So I picked up, it's a rinse and repeat of last week. So last week when I saw it, I was like, yeah, that stinks. I thought it was a one-off, but I got it again. So we've got to get out of the southern region for a little while. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get moving. See if we have any good updates while we're there. All right, we're here, we got loaded. And I got loaded across the street from where they got their new shop. Anybody who's familiar with this place out here in Baltimore, where we pick up shingles every day. But yeah, got it right here. I already put my X strap on there. It's not gonna take me very long to finish this. I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out, and we'll get ourselves on the road. We got an 8-hour drive ahead of us to deliver this cheap load that I don't want, but it is what it is today. Let's get to it. All right, got it all done. Super easy, like shingles always are. That's one of the reasons why I like shingles. Super easy to secure, no tarp required the vast majority of the time. X straps, 2 straps in the front, 2 straps in the rear pallet, 1 strap on everything in between. Edge protectors, super easy, super simple. So we've got an 8-hour drive ahead of us, so basically a full work day. even though we've been up for a while. But the place I'm delivering to no longer has on-site parking. They used to, but I guess they changed their minds. They don't want to do that anymore, so it's okay because I already dealt with it last week. But I don't think I'm gonna drive the full 8 hours. There's no reason to really press it. If I did, I'd probably get around there around 9:30 ish, because I may have to take a 30-minute break if I try to push it a little bit. But like I said, the shipper or the consignee does not have on-site parking, so I'll just get myself close, you know, get myself like within an hour to an hour and a half from the consignee, and I'll be fine for tomorrow. I'll still have the majority of my hours, and tomorrow is Thursday anyway, so I just need to make sure that I have enough hours to be able to get parked up at wherever my consignee is going to be for my Friday morning delivery, and then I'll be in great shape to get home. But without further ado, let's get out of here, because up in this Baltimore area, traffic can be pretty bad trying to get out of here. Fortunately, it's not that late in the afternoon. What time is it right now? This glare is killing me, guys. Can't see anything. All right, it's only 1:15 right now, so we're well before rush hour. But when you're coming through Baltimore, if you're going southward, like through Virginia, like Manassas area, the traffic can be pretty thick coming down 995 as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and go. The sooner I get through that area, the better. And of course, the earlier you get to your parking spot in the evening, the better the odds are for you to get a prime parking spot. And I haven't decided exactly where I'm gonna park yet. Let me do that, get ourselves going. All right, guys, we made it here. Taking everything down and waiting our turn to get unloaded. Over there. Shouldn't take too long. This place is usually really fast with unloading. But just gotta take care of my procurement, wrap it all up. And when I do this stuff, I try to have a method, you know, of taking everything down just so that I'm efficient. So usually start off by getting my winch bar, and I take all the straps off the winches, or at least loosen them all up all the way around the trailer. And then I'll come back around with strap winder and wind them all up on one side, come on the other side, wind them up, and now I'll usually gather up my edge protectors last, and then I'm good to go. You want to try to do things in a way so that you're minimizing the amount of times you got to walk around the trailer, you know, so you're not using a bunch of energy that you don't have to, and you know, for the sake of time. You know, something like this, it's not going to be that bad because shingles are very easy. There's not a lot of securement that you got to take down off of them. But with more complex loads, like if you had steel coils that need a whole bunch of chains on them or something like that, or rebar where you got your straps, you know, choke strapped or something like that, you don't want to have to keep walking back and forth, you know, picking up all the pieces of securement, specifically with the coils, because that seems to be the load that I pick up that has to have the most pieces of securement on them. You know, chains, chain binders, metal edge protectors, tarps. I mean, there's a lot, so you want to reduce the amount of times you have to keep walking back and forth. But let me go ahead and finish wrapping this up, and we should be unloaded here shortly. Super fast and easy. Oh, they got that guy unloaded very fast. He only had to take a few pallets off of him, but he was only sitting there literally for like 5 minutes and they got done with him. So we'll be up next. No rush. We haven't been dispatched on a new load yet. Perfect roll every time. Okay, we got unloaded, and like I said, the consignee that I delivered to, they don't have on-site parking anymore, or they don't want you to park there overnight. There were a couple of guys, a couple of company guys that were parking in the lot, which I'm not gonna hate on that, but I just didn't feel like being bothered. I mean, for the most part, they probably weren't gonna say anything, you know, if you're sitting there, until that lot gets filled up. And there was like a steady stream of more trucks coming in to get unloaded. And I just didn't want to be bothered. There was an empty area in the lot where I could have taken a chance to try to park in and see if they were gonna want me to move or not, but I didn't want to be subject to that. So I just parked at a restaurant nearby that has truck parking, which is always a very convenient, very clutch thing. It's a local fast food restaurant, but they have a spot in their lots where truck drivers can park, and I'm just hanging out here. Got unloaded. was about an hour ago, I think, roughly. And we're just waiting for dispatch. This is very similar to what I was dealing with last week with this exact same load. Sitting around for a while, waiting for my next dispatch. They gotta find a load that's gonna be basically a Goldilocks load for what I need. You know, something that's not too far away, but also not too close, because it has to be, you know, able to be transported somewhere where it's gonna make money. You know, so I might be sitting here for a little bit. Last week when I was dealing with this, I sat around for a while and they finally ended up finding another driver that I could do a trailer swap with, and I had to drive to Knoxville, trailer swap with him, and then deliver off in, I don't know, I think like Winston-Salem, North Carolina or something like that, and deliver some stuff up there. But that's not ideal, man, because that'll still have me, if I did that again, that'll have me in a bad position for tomorrow, because I'll be really close in North Carolina again. You know, I consider it really close. If you're like within, I don't know, four hours or less, I guess, of where you live, that's really close. You know, you need to be a little bit farther out than that, you know, if you're trying to pick something up and move it and then pick up another load for the next day, you know, kind of thing. But we'll see what they get for me. It's still really early in the day, relatively. It's like 10:30. Of course, I would always like to be up and moving, you know, because I've been up since like 6, but we'll see how long I'm hanging out here. But that's just something you guys got to prepare yourselves for when you're out here on the road, you know, just things like this. And especially in the southern region, you know, as you get into like the fall and especially the winter time, the rates in the area are not going to be very good, because there's going to be an influx of drivers down south. And I'm pretty sure I've said this in one of my previous videos. There'll be a lot of drivers down south when the weather is cold because they don't want to drive in the snow. I don't blame them. But, you know, when you sign up to be a trucker, you know, that's something that you subject yourself to, driving in inclement weather. And if you want to make money, being an over-the-road driver, in a lot of cases, you're going to need to, you know, be up there dealing with the snow to make money. Otherwise, you'll be getting, like, really cheap, really petty loads that aren't worth your time to take, you know, unless you want to be at home, you know, every single day or every other day or something like that, being a local guy. But I guess I'll just hang out. Maybe take a little nap and listen out for that notification that I got a new dispatch. I'll keep you guys posted once we got something. Okay, we got dispatched on something. It's gonna be picking up a couple hours away, delivering to Tennessee, which would be like an 8-hour drive away from where we're picking up. The place that we're picking up from stops loading at 3 p.m. but I've only got 18 minutes left until my split log starts. I've been sitting here for a little while. If I leave right now, I'll get there right around 2 or 1:55, something like that. And I'm thinking ahead. I'm like, for 18 minutes, if I leave right then, I'll probably get there around 2:15, 2:30-ish, assuming everything's in my favor with traffic. That should be fine. I mean, I'm just trying to think on the back end of this. In the direction I'm going, heading to Tennessee, westward, think about my parking options. I know I got to drive through Knoxville, but that area usually fills up pretty early. Just thinking ahead, but I'd rather, my purpose of waiting for the split log is so that I'll have more time. Otherwise, when I get to the shipper for this next pickup, you know, I have to sit there and, you know, do my time on my clock for the loading, and then I would have to sit for an additional 2 hours for my clock to stop. Versus if I stop right now and wait for the split log, the full 2-hour break, I'll get all of that duty time that I lost while I was sitting here. All of that time will come back. Right now our assignment is taking care of this split log and getting this load picked up before 3 p.m. which we should be able to do without issue. But I'll see you guys at the pickup. Okay, we made it here, no problem. Setting up that split log is going to end up working out in my favor because well, it's about 2:50 right now. We got here at 2:20, so right on 30 minutes pretty much for them to load me, which is cool. We got some lumber, very easy, 2-tiered load right in the middle here. Now with this, I don't think I'm going to be able to put a belly strap in this because there's no
platforms for me to stand on, and I don't think that it would be safe for me to try to tightrope walk along the edge of the trailer deck here to try to use my edge protector pole to feed a strap through that top or that second tier there. So when I'm faced with situations like this, I just throw additional straps over the top. I guess it's like a safety thing to try to belly strap when you have something that's 2 tiers or higher, but also, it's a safety thing. You're not climbing on your trailer when you don't have fall protection, and I'm not going to risk breaking my legs, man, or falling off, hitting my head or something like that out here when I have an alternative. That's just going to be how it is with that. I think I'm going to need to put like 4 straps on each of these bundles. These are pretty long, but outside of that, it's going to be extremely easy to do this. It's just going to be straps, X strap in the very front, straps over top, alternating, and my tarps up there. So I want to hurry up and get this knocked out because like I told you guys before, it's like a 8-hour drive roughly to go deliver this stuff. I want to try to get like 6 or 7 hours in tonight and get myself like maybe like an hour and a half away from the delivery location, and I'll be in good position tomorrow morning, to be able to deliver this stuff and then go pick something else up and then get home. All right, we got our X straps on, and you guys know me, I always do my X straps first. Try to get that X right to the center of the load, right there every single time. That's the best spot because you give yourself even distribution to hold that weight back. But more importantly, when you guys have lumber loads, lumber, particle board, plywood, anything with some type of edge to it, even though it's lumber, I always use an edge protector because I have seen in the past more than once guys have their forward movement protection, their X straps, fail on them because when these edges of this lumber, let me show you guys up here, it's not necessarily sharp like metal, but it has an edge to it. Now when you have something that has an edge and you push against it with force, you can cut fabric very easily. And I've seen guys stop short and their X straps got cut because they didn't have any edge protectors underneath them. Fortunately, both times when I saw that happen, the load itself did not come forward at all. The X straps did their job and stopped, but they were definitely cut at the pressure points. So right there where all the stress is from the ratchet pulling the strap tight, that will cut. It cut on both sides, like on the bottom of the passenger and the driver's side, both times when I saw that happen to somebody. So a smart person learns from the mistakes or mishaps of other people so they don't make those same mishaps themselves. So I always put edge protectors under my lumber or over top of my lumber when I put my X straps up. I got it on all the pressure points except for right here, because that part right there is not pressing against any of the edges. It's like underneath on a blunt piece of the wood on the side, just where it fell, so that's okay. But now that we got that done, we can get to the easy work of tossing these straps over. Let's go ahead and finish that up. Okay, we got the straps tossed. I haven't tightened anything down yet, so I wanted to show you guys something, a couple of things actually. Like I always tell you guys, the X strap goes on first, and then you throw your first 4-inch strap over top of your X strap right there to give it added protection. But remember I was telling you guys earlier about the 2-tier load right here and how there's a 3rd tier up there, and using the climbing up on the trailer so I could put a belly strap on there. Now I was looking at it from this side. Something else that I found out, those blocks right there that you see there, and then there's another one right about there behind that strap, those are only half blocks, so they don't go all the way across the whole load. So that 2nd tier is not flush. There's a 3rd, well, let me show you, it'll make more sense when I show it to you guys versus just talking about it. Now this is it over here. That on the other side, there was like a level where I could attempt to put a belly strap through, but on this side, this is all one whole big chunk. So this side, the level of this tier is taller than it is on the driver's side, where I would have attempted to put that belly strap, and it wouldn't have been able to go all the way through if I had attempted. I should have known something was up, because they brought this whole big bundle out as one big block. So the 2 or 3 tiers, I guess, rather, it all came out on the forklift at the same time. So couldn't do a belly strap if I had tried, but I'm gonna throw one more strap over top. You can see there's only 3 straps up there right now. I'm gonna throw a 4th one, possibly a 5th one, just to give it the added protection. But these bundles are all 14 feet long, and TMC's requirement is that anything that's 16 feet or longer needs to have a minimum of 4 straps. So we're good with the 3. I just made sure that I evenly spaced them. Let's go ahead and finish this up so we can tarp it. This is going really fast. It's the way I prefer for it to be. Let's get out of here. All right, guys, we are up on top of the load. And let me show you guys something. When you are dealing with a load you have to climb on top of, make sure that you are looking around and take note of empty spaces like this, okay? Because when I roll this tarp out, this rear tarp, when I roll over top of this elevated piece, I'm not gonna be able to see where that is. I'm gonna have to keep a mental note of where this empty space is, so I don't roll my tarp out and then walk around trying to open up the flaps or something, and then by mistake step into that hole, fall through, hurt myself, break my leg, Lord forbid, fall forward or backwards and go off the trailer completely. That's going to be a very bad day. Very, very bad day. So what you can do to try to avoid that happening or reduce the risk is crawl around on your hands and knees. Some guys like to put like maybe like a piece, I don't know, take like a strap or something, put it where the empty void is close to, so you know that's a danger area. Me, I have an easy indicator, you know, right where that tall piece is, that's where the empty hole is. But you want to make sure you're just crawling around here. I never walk around on top of the trailer if it's windy, if it's wet. You know, I don't even like doing it when it's dry. So with that tarp, I'm just going to roll it out, crawling on my hands and knees, pushing it forward, and I'm going to avoid that hole, avoid those side steps right there so I don't fall off of that, and I should be fine. You want to avoid walking around on top of these loads at all costs, because all it takes is one misstep, one slip, you know, the wind to blow too hard or something while you're pushing the tarp out, and the wind catches in the tarp, blows the tarp back in your face and blows you off the other side of the trailer too. It can happen in the fall time, the winter time, anytime when it's a very strong wind gust. Fortunately, I have a wind break right here. There's all this lumber that's stacked on both sides of me, but still, even with that, you know, I keep things consistent, so I'm not gonna walk around on top of this if I don't have to. You know, safety, it's in your best interest to not do that. You got another guy over there moving his stuff. But yeah, let's go ahead and roll this out. All right, guys, there you have it. Got the tarp rolled out, and with this one, I didn't climb down to anchor it this time, just because I told you earlier I had these wind breaks, and it's not very windy out today anyway, but I had a little bit of cushion, a little bit of protection, so that the tarp wouldn't blow over. But I still want to go ahead and anchor these down. But the main thing to take away from this though is when you're on top of these trailers here, keep your center of gravity low. Not low enough that you need to be like prone on your stomach, but like on your hands and knees is good. Because in addition to your center of gravity being low, if your tarp does try to blow over, what you want to do, don't stand up. If your tarp is trying to blow over and you see it coming, and the wind gust is strong enough to where it lifts a whole side or a whole flap of the tarp up and over, what you need to do, use your body as a weight. Fall flat on your stomach if you can and get down. Otherwise, that tarp is going to blow you right off, especially if you're standing up when it happens to you. It'll blow you right off the edge. Just fall down, let the tarp roll over top of you or something, but you're still flat on the ground. It's not going to be strong enough to blow the tarp over while you're laying down, and you spread your body out, spread your legs and feet out, everything. You can see me. Might look a little silly, but I'm telling you, it'll save your life if you have to do that. Like I said, if you see it in time, don't stand up, go down, get your center of gravity as low down to the trailer as you can. But let's get down off of here. Sheesh, I'm gonna have to, look at that, I'm gonna have to lift this back flap back up or something, because I can't see where to put my feet, and I'm not gonna put my feet up against the tarp. That's just asking to slide and fall off of this. I'm sure nobody wants to fall from this height, hit their head. I know I certainly don't. So I'm gonna safely climb down from here, and we'll go ahead and bungee this down. I need to go get my paperwork. I want to make sure that people here don't leave without giving me my stuff, because it's the end of the day. All right, let's get out of here. All right, we're done. Got everything all tarped down. Grabbed my paperwork. I didn't want to completely finish tarping everything before I grab my paperwork, because it's getting on here in the evening. I think it's around 3:30 or 4, something like that. And this is one of those places that closes around that time. And one time I was picking up at a place like this, and they didn't want you to get your paperwork until you were completely done with everything. And by the time I got done with everything, which really wasn't that, it was like 5:15 or something like that, I went to go get my paperwork and the office was locked. They left without giving me my paperwork. That's the first and only time that I ever let that happen to me. So I went out there and got my stuff this time today, so I don't leave anything up to chance. I mean, that was really just a fail on the shipper's part. How are you gonna load somebody and not give them a BOL before you leave because you are anxious to go home? But whatever, but we got that done. I was doing some trip planning for how far I'm gonna go, and the place that I'm delivering to in Tennessee is far west enough that I am going to be switching over to the central time zone. So that means I'm gaining an hour of time. Not really, as far as my body's concerned. I'm gonna be awake the whole time, but it's gonna be an hour later where I'm gonna be stopping tonight than it is right now. So if I drive till 6 o'clock, or not 6 o'clock, if I drive for 6 hours from right now, it'll be around 9:30-ish when I get to my planned parking space for the night. And from there, it'll be about an hour to deliver after that. So if I park around 9:30, clock will refresh around 7:30. I should get to the consignee around 8:30, and that's still really early in the morning. You know, I can get rid of this stuff and then be dispatched on something else that's gonna send me back east to go home. But I'm ready to go. Let's hit the road. We're gonna be driving for a little while tonight. 6 hours, let's go.
Good morning, guys. It's the next day. We parked last night at 9:55 Central Time, but really for my body it was 10:55 since I started my day in the Eastern Time Zone. So I was starting to get a little tired, but we made it here no problem. Still safe. And we were able to make a pit stop at a grocery store. Fortunately, I was able to find a truck stop that was nearby, within walking distance, pretty much like across the street from a store, so I could get a couple things real quick. I'm going home today. It's Friday, but you know, getting it now while I have some downtime, while I have to sit anyway waiting for my clock to refresh, just makes sense. So I don't have to, you know, do it later on my way home. And as you guys know, this load had to be tarped, and I just want to stress to you guys that, like, if you have a dispatched load and it says that your load needs to be tarped, make sure that you tarp it. I've seen and heard stories of people choosing to not tarp their load when they're being paid to do it, and it's part of their load description. You know, for whatever reason, don't do that. But I'll show you why, because yesterday when I picked up, the entire day was dry as a bone, no precipitation at all. And here where I am, look at what it looks like outside now. All kinds of water. All kinds of water. So if you make a decision like that, it can go bad for you. I mean, there's like a couple of things, like, well, if you don't tarp a load that's supposed to be tarped, you go to sleep and it rains overnight while you're asleep, your load is going to be excuse me, your load is going to be soaked. There's no way you're going to be able to salvage that. And then you're going to show up to your consignee with a damaged load, and you're going to have to explain to your fleet manager why your load was not tarped. Your fleet manager and your safety department, if you're working with TMC. You know, and there's nothing you can really do. I mean, you just messed up, man. You're gonna get charged for that, probably for a load claim, if you did something like that. So always tarp it. It doesn't take very much time to tarp a load, you know, and the risk is not worth the reward if it ends up, you know, damaging your load, the weather, or whatever, you know, when you don't do what you're supposed to be doing. But we are only an hour and 15 minutes away from the consignee. My clock will refresh 8:55 local time. I got held up a little bit last night, excuse me, last night, because there was some road construction, and it pushed back my arrival time a little bit, which isn't bad. I got here, I had, I think I might have had like 20 something minutes left on my clock when I got parked last night, which is fine as long as it's not 0. You know, I'm still legal, so it's all good. We're gonna get ready to go in a little bit here, do my pre-trip, and get out the raincoat. We're gonna need it today. Raincoats and the rain overalls, because I don't want to get my pants wet. I'm gonna have to crawl down on my hands and knees to fold this tarp up once I'm done here. But let's go ahead and get rolling. Okay, we made it here to the consignee. No problem getting here. As you can see, load traveled fine, but we are actually going to get unloaded right over there. So we're going to drive down this road, take a left, and we're going to be getting unloaded right off the street. Now, this is like a back street, so there's like no traffic over there, and it's extremely muddy. It rained, like I showed you guys earlier, so it's like that thick clay sticky type mud over there. So I'm not going to unload, or I'm not going to untarp over there. I'm going to untarp over here where it's a lot more dry. You see there's grass and everything over here, because I don't want those tarps to be filthy, and I don't want my clothes covered in mud. We'll go ahead and take this down. I'll pull it over this way, of course, that way I don't have to worry about cars getting in my way and me having to move around, and we'll get unloaded. Too bad I didn't have enough hours to drive all the way here last night. There was places for me to sit and wait, so oh well, that's how it goes sometimes. But let's go ahead and get this untarped and get unloaded so we can get our Friday load and go home. Okay, we are unloaded now. I put in my empty about 35 minutes ago, and we're still waiting for a dispatch. And with it being a Thursday, you need to have directional freight if you're going home. Or actually, not Thursday, it's Friday. What am I saying? It's Friday, so I need to have directional freight. I need to have something that's gonna send me back east. Currently, from where I'm sitting, I'm 6.5 hours away from home, so I'm gonna be getting home later on in the evening, most likely. Unless, well, yeah, it's still gonna be later, because if I were to leave from right where I am right now and head straight home, I wouldn't get home till like 7 o'clock. All right, we got a new development. Not necessarily the best one. There's no freight in this area that I'm in. East Tennessee, where I currently am, there is nothing out here. Nothing out here right now. So saith the fleet managers right now in the load planners. So they were able to find something for me, but it's going in the wrong direction. I need to go east, southeast to go home. And to pick up this load, I have to go northwest, 3 hours. And right now I've got, I think, about 11 hours on my clock. Now I've got 10 hours and 41 minutes of duty and 9 hours, 41 minutes of drive time. Driving the 3 hours up that way to go pick up the load, you know, I'm not gonna have enough hours to make it, you know, southeast to go home. Not today. So I was thinking about it. I mean, I had the option of sitting here and waiting around, seeing if they could find something else, you know, but I could be sitting here indefinitely, or I could take the load that they had been able to, I guess, to try to sort out. You know, I guess basically it was the best that they could find for the particular situation that I'm in, the area and where I need to go. It's not ideal, but I've already reserved myself to the thought that I'm not going to make it home today. It's going to be a Saturday thing. And I have not, this is the first time that I have not made it home since I was a rookie. Like my rookie year with TMC, this is the first time that I have been in a situation where I was not going to make it home. But it's through something that is no fault of my own. The area is just dry right now. So, but the the positive end of that is that this load that I'm going to pick up is only, it delivers an hour and 15 minutes away from where I live. So we're gonna do all of our driving. I'm gonna go pick it up today. We'll drive back in the direction of home, and we'll have maybe like a 3 or 4 hour drive, depending on how far I make it. Drive to get back home in the morning once we're done. So it is what it is on that one. It's actually, this load that I'm about to go pick up, I actually did a trailer swap with a guy last week for this exact same load, delivering to the same consignee that I'm about to take this one to. So I already know what's up ahead of me. With that in mind, you know, I'm just gonna be focused on getting home, and I don't think that I'm necessarily gonna try to do the park up points this Sunday, just because I'm gonna get home Saturday. Even if it's an hour, I value my home time. You know, I'm out on the road to make money, but I'm out on the road to make money to support myself and, you know, take care of my family. So I'm not gonna like hurry up and leave because I'm already getting shortchanged on my weekend. I'm gonna get home, enjoy the remainder of my Saturday, and probably enjoy Sunday as well, and not leave until Monday. Because for one, I want to spend my time at home, because that's what I'm out here trying to make better, my personal life. And also, I want to have my 34-hour reset completely refreshed. I don't want to run recaps next week. You know, forget that. That's just a headache that I do not want to sign up for. So I'm gonna stay at home, do my full 34-hour reset, and just leave on Monday, especially since I only have an hour and 15 minutes to complete the route once I get home. So we're gonna go ahead and pick this up, do what we gotta do. But like I said in my other videos, I like to show you guys the positive and the negative side of trucking. And you know, not making it home on Friday is a negative, but like I said, this is the first time that this happened to me since my very first year with TMC, when I was a rookie and I didn't know anything. And it's just, you know, one of those things that's out of my control. You know, the area is just not good right now. Well, nothing's available. You know, it's what time is it? It's 12:30 on a Friday. So there's nothing to be done right now. We'll go get this picked up. Hopefully the load is already ready. It might be a preloaded trailer, and we're gonna get that, and we're gonna get ourselves moving, get ourselves in good position to park somewhere tonight and get home tomorrow. Okay, we made it here. And it's super bright, the sun's shining right in my face. But we made it to the pickup location here in Kentucky. I'm not gonna record any of the process of me getting loaded here, just because I want to chill out and relax now. This video's been going on for a while. I'm trying to keep it interesting for you guys, letting you see the daily ordeals that truckers go through. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wait in line, because there's a few guys ahead of me. You can see there, some guys here, some guys back there, and it stretches around, not too far, but it's just a little bit out of sight, and it circles back around into this same building right here, just farther behind me. And we 100% do not have enough hours to make it home tonight, like I was already knowing and prepared for. But it's pretty much an 8-hour drive home from here, and I have 6 hours and 40 minutes on my clock. So I'll just drive however far I feel like driving this evening. I'll try to get in at least 5 hours, and find myself a good parking space for the night and finish it up in the morning, because I do have enough duty hours on my 70-hour clock to drive the rest of the way home tomorrow, thankfully. Right now my 70-hour clock is sitting at 25 hours and a few minutes. So more than enough for me to drive 8 hours and get myself home between today and tomorrow. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, guys. Getting stuck out on the road is a possibility. It is what it is on that. I'm gonna go ahead and close the video out, guys. Gonna go get this trailer prepped for the load. But I appreciate you all watching. Thank you all for liking, commenting, subscribing. I'll see you all further down the road. Keep your spirits up. Here at Trucker out.